Hi, I'm Bailee, aka the Vegetarian Guide, and in this video we're going to be talking about the big picture steps that you need to take to transition to a vegetarian diet and enjoy the process along the way. Let's get started. This video is for anyone who's considering starting a vegetarian diet, or maybe you've already started for a couple days or a couple weeks and you're kind of starting to hit some hard spots along the way, so you're looking for some advice on how to continue. This video is not meant to convince you to start a vegetarian diet. Obviously, I believe that's the best diet in the world, and I would love if everyone did it, but that's not what we're talking about today. It's a very personal decision, and this video is for those who have already decided that they want to be vegetarian and are looking for the steps along the way to make that happen. If that sounds like you, then awesome, you're in the right place, and I want to assure you that with the right steps and resources, you can totally make this diet last for you for a lifetime. So let's take a second to talk about what a vegetarian actually is, and that is someone who chooses not to eat meat. We don't consume any beef, pork, fish, chicken, anything in our diet that would come from an animal that had to be killed. However, we do still consume dairy and eggs, as opposed to a vegan, for example, that doesn't eat any animal-derived products, including dairy, eggs, honey, lots of other things. So a vegetarian diet is a little bit more flexible than a vegan diet. If you're considering going vegan, that's awesome. I would suggest that you go vegetarian first as an introduction to that way of eating. And then as you get more comfortable with your diet, you can cut more things out as you go until you finally end up at that vegan diet if that's your ultimate goal. Personally, I choose to stay in vegetarian land. I really like the benefits that come with that, and I really enjoy my diet, so that's why I choose to stay there. Okay, so then there's this process around actually becoming a vegetarian, because contrary to popular belief, it's not just stopping eating meat from one day to the next. This is changing your entire lifestyle, your entire way of eating. You've probably been eating meat your entire life, and now you're changing what you're fueling your body with. Big freaking deal. But that doesn't mean that it needs to be hard. You just need to know the right strategies and the right steps along the way to make that process fun and easy. So my biggest piece of advice along the way is to focus actually on the fact that you're building a new habit. You're building a new lifestyle when you're becoming a vegetarian. It's not just about the food. You can have recipes coming out the wazoo, but that's not going to be enough for you to actually maintain this lifestyle long term unless you have the habit building piece that comes along with that. If you'd like to learn a little bit more about that, I suggest you grab my Secrets to Vegetarian Success ebook. You can grab that in the links below. The first big step in your vegetarian journey should be defining your why, and that would be the reasons why you're going vegetarian. This is going to motivate you throughout your entire journey, the next couple of days, weeks, months that it's going to take you to make this transition. Your why is going to be in the back of your head, reminding you there's a reason that you decided to do this. I think it should be a little bit more nuanced than just the environment or animal welfare. Really nail that down as to what you're doing and what impact that actually makes and how that makes you feel. The more you can really get nitty gritty about what your why is, the more it's going to help you along the way to keep you motivated and to keep you going on this journey when things get hard. The next thing that you'll need to do is to make a plan about how you're going to go vegetarian. And when I say this, I get a lot of eye rolls sometimes, because a very common vegetarian mistake is that people try to transition from one day to the next. And I get that. You're super motivated in the beginning. I did this myself the first time that I tried to go vegetarian, and spoiler alert, I failed. I get it. You really, really are motivated. You just watched that documentary. You never want to eat meat again. You want to make that sweeping declaration that I am now and forever will be a vegetarian. The problem with that is that your body needs time to adjust. You need time to learn new recipes. You need time to build these habits that are going to last you a lifetime. So I recommend gradually easing into your diet. And that means maybe taking a period of several weeks or even several months to make a full transition. Set yourself up with some shorter term goals, like maybe you're going to cut out one type of meat at a time. So maybe for 2 weeks, you're just focusing on cutting beef out of your diet, and then you're going to move on to the next meat. Or maybe you want to start with a meatless Monday, and then you're going to work up to more and more meatless days. Whatever works for you, just set goals that are realistic, and you can celebrate those goals as you go along the way. That's going to keep you motivated. If you're setting small steps for yourself and you're celebrating each one, it keeps the energy high. It keeps you excited. It keeps you want to keep going. So really focus on setting up a plan, easing in, and celebrating all those wins along the way so that you can stay motivated and keep going until you have the time to let your body adjust and give yourself the time to learn all of these skills and changes along the way. The next step is that you'll want to define your support system. Your support system are going to be your cheerleaders, the people that are motivating you to keep going, and you also want to have some people that are going to hold you accountable. You said you were going vegetarian. These people are going to hold you to it to make sure that you do it. I don't want you to see that as a weakness or that you need people to be pushing you to do something, but it's just something to kind of keep you going, to help motivate you to stay on track with the goals that you set for yourself, because you, again, defined that why. You had a reason for going vegetarian in the first place. So having some people remind you about that why, or having systems set up to hold you accountable to the goals that you set for yourself is not a weakness. It's something that you should be doing to help you stay going on your journey. Your support system could be friends or family, or I actually recommend that the best support system could be other vegetarians or people who are going through the transition themselves, because these are the people that get what you're going through and that you can riff off of, you can vent to, you can complain to, you can share recipes, you can celebrate each other's successes and milestones. The support system cannot be undervalued. A great support system that you can join is our Easy Beginner Vegetarian Facebook group. I'll link that in the description below so you can join us in there. That is a group of fellow vegetarians, myself included, and we can be there to help support you with anything that you need along your journey. Knowing nutrition basics is the next step that you'll need to figure out on your vegetarian journey. Because obviously if you're cutting meat out of your diet, you'll need to replace some nutrients with other things, the main one being protein. Everyone freaks out when you go vegetarian about asking if you're getting enough protein, and I can tell you that it is really not that hard. Don't freak out. It can be done. To get protein in your diet, you'll want to have more foods like beans, tofu, lentils. There's protein in pasta, there's protein in broccoli, there's protein in bananas, there's protein in everything. So please don't freak out about the protein, but you will need to be a little bit more mindful of it in the beginning to make sure that you're getting enough. If you're still eating eggs and dairy, again, this isn't as big of a problem as if you're on a full vegan diet. So just be mindful. The thing that I recommend people do is that they actually track your diet for the first couple of days or first couple of weeks even. This will give you a picture of how you're doing, and you might not even need to worry about your protein because you might be getting enough already. Or if you're not, you can see, where can you tweak? And tracking your diet in an app for a little while will give you that insight that you need to make those adjustments. The other nutrient that you'll want to watch out for is B12, which is also commonly only found in animal products. The best way to get a B12 is just through a supplement. You can also get fortified plant milks, for example, often have it. Again, if you're eating eggs and dairy, it might not be a big deal, but just to be on the safe side, I do recommend supplementing with a B12 supplement. Okay, and then you'll notice that only now are we actually getting to the food. Because again, I think that the habit building piece of your vegetarian journey is just as important as the actual food is. But obviously, going vegetarian means that you're going to need some new food things to eat. What I recommend is that you focus on building up a repertoire of really basic, easy meals first. And that means meals that you can whip up really quickly with store-bought ingredients, things that only take you 15, 20 minutes that you don't need a recipe to make. And the more of these kind of meals you have, the more you're going to have an easy transition because you can always rely on them. If you have days where you don't want to cook or you're feeling like you have a craving coming on for meat or something, you can rely on these super quick, easy meals to fill you up. Those would be meals like pasta with store-bought tomato sauce and some broccoli thrown on top. You could also do just even a box of mac and cheese. Obviously, you don't want to go too unhealthy with this. I would highly recommend that you don't eat too many processed meat foods. Try to stick with as many whole foods as possible because they're much healthier for you. But just having this repertoire of 5, 10 really quick, easy meals that you have on hand at all times is really going to help your journey go that much smoother. After you kind of get a handle on some of these more basic, easy, quick meals, then you can start focusing on going into the Pinterests and going down the rabbit holes of the Instagrams and finding all these really awesome creative meals. I would be careful about doing too many of these in the beginning. I know that you're really excited and you want to try all of these awesome, pretty, fancy foods that you're finding on these websites and everything, but just be careful that you don't burn out too much in the beginning trying all of these crazy recipes. Start with the basics and then work your way up to more experimental and more creative and more fun foods. Another big thing you're going to need to know on this transition to going vegetarian is how to overcome cravings and temptation, because they're going to happen. You've been eating meat your entire life. You cannot expect that just because you flip a switch and say, I want to be vegetarian, that you're not going to want those foods anymore. It's unrealistic. So you need to know what to do when that happens. And my best advice is to have a plan ahead of time, to know how to tackle some of these cravings and temptations before they strike so that you're not side-blinded when it comes. So the best thing that you can do, for example, is to have a motto that you can say to yourself, even out loud. If you want to sneak off to the bathroom and look in the mirror and say this motto out loud to yourself, I am a vegetarian. I'm not eating meat. Something that's just going to trigger that why to come back up in you. Another thing you could do is write your why down on a piece of paper and keep it with you so you can always look at it if you need a reminder. Oftentimes when you're getting a craving or a temptation for meat, it's because you're missing that flavor, that meaty flavor. So if you have some foods on hand that can mimic that flavor, that would be a great thing. Or even just having a super indulgent snack or meal. Again, back to that box of mac and cheese I said to have in your cupboard so that when those meat cravings strike and you're thinking, ugh, I really want a cheeseburger, Go find something else that's going to make you feel really, really good. Even if it's not the healthiest option, every once in a while, it's okay. But have a plan in place for what's going to happen when those cravings strike so that you know how to take care of it before it happens, and you'll be fine. Cravings come and they go. It's just a passing, fleeting feeling. Sometimes they're going to be stronger than other times, but as long as you know what to do and how to react in that situation, you're going to be able to overcome them and stay on track with your diet. Another huge piece of the puzzle for going vegetarian and staying vegetarian long-term is keeping that motivation going, because I've got news for you. That motivation that you have right now that says, yes, I want to do it, I'm ready to go, it goes down. Because here's the thing, life starts lifing. You're going to have busy days. You're going to have days when your kids are crying in the kitchen and you don't want to cook and things are going to get crazy and hectic. And that motivation, that thing that you have right now that's saying, yes, I want to do it, it's not going to be there anymore. Willpower goes up and down in waves, and you need to set up the systems to keep yourself motivated even when times get hard. So one of the ways that I recommend doing that is to keep a daily food journal. That's only taking 5 minutes at the end of every day, where you can write down what you've eaten for the day. It keeps you mindful of what you're eating. The other thing is that you can reflect on the progress that you've been making. You can reflect on all of the obstacles that you've overcome during the day. It's a great way to track how your body's feeling. Another thing you can do, for example, is put some pictures on your refrigerator reminding you of your why. All of these systems that you can set up to keep yourself motivated long-term and not just here in the beginning, it's going to make a huge difference long-term in your motivation. It's going to help you to keep going on the journey when times get hard, and they will get hard. So the more you can be prepared from the early steps from right now when you're getting started, the better off you're going to be in the long term, and the more you're going to be able to turn this goal of becoming a vegetarian into a long-lasting lifetime lifestyle. So the final thing that I want to talk about today is that you need to be kind to yourself on this journey, because it really is a journey. Going vegetarian is a marathon. It's not a sprint. You are going to have times along the way where you're going to slip up, or you're not going to do it perfectly, and you shouldn't beat yourself up, and you absolutely should not quit because you just have one day where maybe you give in and you eat the pepperoni on the pizza. It's not the end of the world. You have the rest of your life to make better choices. The only thing that you need to do if you have a slip up is reflect on why it happened, so you can maybe avoid doing it again the next time and get back up on the horse. Because seriously, every day is a new chance to do better and to do it again and to live this life that you've been dreaming of. You shouldn't let one little mistake slip you up, or even 5 little mistakes slip you up. Just do a little bit better each day, and eventually you're going to get there, and you're going to have that vegetarian lifestyle that you've been dreaming of. Give yourself some grace. Give yourself a pat on the back every day for the progress that you're making, and just enjoy the journey. So there you have it. These are the big picture steps that you need to be aware of when you're going vegetarian. And obviously there's a lot of nuances and nitty-gritty details that we can go into, and I will go into those in other videos, but you have the big picture scope of what you need to make this diet happen. And I want to end by saying that you can absolutely do this. You can go vegetarian. It doesn't have to be that hard. I know it's a huge lifestyle change. I know you're motivated to do this, and now you know exactly what to do to get the ball rolling on that. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, cheers to your vegetarian journey.